3, 4.
Alright guys, ZFR back here again today, and that's right, in this video we are going to be reviewing Rise of the Tomb Raider, which actually came out last year, but since the PS4 version came out this year, I'm just now getting it. So yeah, I got a chance to play the game, and this video I pretty much overall just want to tell you guys what I think of the game. But please, before I get in this, remember that anything I say in this video is my opinion solely. You have the freedom to disagree with that. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's definitive right or wrong. Just keep that in mind. Just giving a disclaimer, because my reviews tend to piss some people off, but whatever. Anyway, let's get into this review. Alright, let's start this review off with the story. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything for the story, but pretty much for a quick overview, this story follows Lara Croft after the events of the last game. She realizes that there's more to the world than everybody's led to believe, that there's more out there than anybody could have imagined. And she realizes her dad might have been right about some stuff, because if you don't remember, her dad was really into all of this too, into discovering like myths and stuff. So pretty much she goes out to clear her father's name after the entire world pretty much thought he was crazy, and she wants to continue his legacy and prove to the world that he was brilliant, and also prove herself to him in a way, make him proud or whatever. It's kind of one of those deals, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, for the most part, this story has a pretty interesting drive with just that. But later on, Lara meets some other characters in the story that kind of sift the story to, I don't want to say a completely different direction, but definitely makes things more complicated, and I really like it. I like what they did. I love the cast of characters. Like, we meet some really awesome characters in this story, which I was kind of surprised on how awesome the cast was. Like, the last story had a decent cast of characters, but I didn't think they were all that great. If I'm being honest, like, I thought some of them were cool, but for the most part, I was like, I don't really care about some of these people. But yeah, for the most part, this cast of characters was freaking amazing. But anyway, moving on from that, like, the overall story, the structure was awesome. Like, they did a good job at pacing and all of that. Like, none of that was out of whack. The story has some pretty cool twists in it, which I really like. That's always a good thing, to have some surprises in there. The emotions are strong at a lot of points during this story. Like, there's one point during a story where a certain character did something or was getting ready to do something. I was like, no, don't do it. I was like screaming at the TV screen. So yeah, like, the emotions in the game are definitely there. So that's great. The story in this game is freaking amazing. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So yeah, story good. And then there's the graphics. We always go over the graphics, and I usually end up saying this, but we're not even really going to talk about them that much. I mean, look at the game. Look at it. Like, it looks amazing. There's nothing to even say when it comes to the graphics. It looks fine. Like, I mean, it looks great. It looks better than great. It looks amazing. So yeah, I'm not even going to go over graphics all that much. Like, the weather effects and all that, and just like, you know, I forget what you call them, but like, just all the little effects and things like that, it's great. Alright, so graphics, yeah, A+. Alright, moving on, I want to talk about the setting really quickly. So I feel like the setting is an important part to every game. I feel like it really can make the story or the game, depending on where it's set. I feel like there's nothing worse than having a game in a setting that just doesn't feel right, or that's just boring. Like, I love interesting settings always, and let's be honest, this is Tomb Raider. Of course the setting is freaking perfect. Like, pretty much it takes place mostly in a snowy mountain, the snowy mountains of wherever. for the most part of the game. But you also go with some different locations throughout the game. Like there's a few valleys, and then there's also some caverns, and you know, of course, I'm not going to go into some of the other stuff like all the supernatural stuff that goes on later down the road, which yes, some of that does go down and they do a great job of it, unlike a other game that I'm not going to talk about, Uncharted. But anyway, yeah, like pretty much, so this game setting is pretty good and it's pretty awesome, and like I've already said, but I love the cast of characters that comes with the setting. So yeah, setting is great. And next up is gameplay. And if you played the last Tomb Raider, you already know that the gameplay in Tomb Raider is freaking awesome. Like you already know, and somehow in this game they even made it better. Like for the most part, like it's perfect just about. Like combat is on point. Like all the guns and weapons feel great. The sound effects, getting kills with them, it's all fun. Like that's all awesome. The controls are fluid. Like they really made it work in a way where you can just move around the world how you want in a fluid manner and stuff. There were a few times where it was kind of wonky, I would say, like with some of the AI and stuff, I guess, and the cover system and all that, but whatever. Like it barely happened ever, like, so to the point where I don't even count that as a flaw. It was probably just a one-time if or oof, whatever. But for the most part, yeah, gameplay is freaking perfect in this game. Like, and like I already said, it's super fun. So yeah, gameplay gets an A plus also. Like I know it sounds like it probably sounds like, man, I'm just like just going down hard for Tomb Raider right now, but I'm just being honest. The game so far has been great from what I've seen. So anyway, the next section of the game I want to talk about is the problems, which, guess what? There are none. I have no problems for the game on my list. None at all. Now, I will say, I do wish they tried again at the multiplayer. I know what some of you are going to say. I know what some of you are going to say. Are you crazy? Do you not remember what the last multiplayer was like? Yes, I know, but hear me out on this one. I feel like Square Enix could easily make a good multiplayer out of this if they just put more time in it. Like, I feel like even if they had to wait and work on the multiplayer to add it on for free or whatever after the game launched, like that would have been fine. Like I feel like this is a game that definitely could benefit from multiplayer. Now, does it need multiplayer? Absolutely not. Like Tomb Raider is a game that definitely can survive just fine without multiplayer, but I will say multiplayer does add replay value to any game as long as you make it well. And the last Tomb Raider multiplayer was not that far off from being good. There were just some things here and there, and overall from what I saw that just looked like a lack of effort that stopped that multiplayer from being good. So I feel like if they worked a little bit harder on it and, you know, really tried hard this time, I feel like they could have put an awesome multiplayer go with this game. But like I said, that's not really a downside at all because the game doesn't need it. But it's just something that if they got it right this time, the game would have been even better than it already is. So yeah, with all of that being said, Rise of the Tomb Raider is an amazing game. Like I said, I can't really call out any problems with it. It's super fun. Like the story's great, the graphics are great, the gameplay is great. Like the structure of the game, the level design, everything is on point. And the customization in the game, which I didn't even go over really, is also really in-depth and well done, and it's not so deep to the point where you're just like, oh man, like just screw all this stuff, some of this isn't even necessary. Like it's just an all-around great game. So my final score for Tomb Raider is pretty much going to be a 9.8. Like, I think Tomb Raider was freaking amazing. I would definitely put it up there behind some of my favorite games of all time. I don't quite think it was a masterpiece. I don't I don't want to say that. I can definitely see how, if you do think it's a masterpiece, I can definitely see how you would say that. Like, I definitely can. But for me, it wasn't that high of a almighty, but it definitely was freaking close. Like, it was close. Who knows? Maybe after I play some of the DLC and get some of that in my system, I'll have more to say about it. But for now, 9.8 is the score. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you want more reviews like this, please keep hitting those like buttons, hit that subscribe button to get more content. Really help me out with those likes, guys, and those comments. I love comments. Tell me what you thought about Rise of the Tomb Raider down below in the comments, and tell me what you thought about my opinion. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I know the videos are slow right now, but that's because I'm working on more quality content than quantity. So yeah, just keep that in mind and be patient with me. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see all of you guys on the next video. ZFR out, guys.